What's up, y'all? How we doing out there? Are we still in the Christmas spirit? Are we ready and excited to end this year and start our New Year's resolution that we probably will not keep up with? Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. If you have not, rate and reviewed and subscribed to all of your platforms. Subscribe to this show. Please go and do that. Rate it. Make it happen. That would be my Christmas gift. Just rate and review. Give me a 5-star. Even put on the comments like, he gets annoying after a while, but I'm doing this for him for Christmas. Right on. Appreciate that. Well, Thanksgiving's gone. We are streamlining straight to 2024. And me personally, I am super excited about that. Just because this year has been an absolute shit show. But it didn't really take that long for it to turn around. And it is turning around. And it's a mindset. It's a mindset that my stubborn ass at this middle-aged year of mine in life just sparked in my brain. I was supposed to go do therapy yesterday. I pussed out of that. I need to fix myself. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't vibe with the guy. He was kind of like very standoffish. And I think that he thought I was like interviewing him because of the responses I was making. Anywho, it just sparked. Had a lot. Since I drive to work, it takes me a while to get to work now, which I'm very thankful for now. For the past few years, I've been driving to work, being able to drive to work like 5-10 minutes away from my house. It's been a blessing. But prior to that, I used to drive an hour away for work for 9 years straight. And now I'm doing the same thing right now with my new job that I'm doing. And it gives me a lot of time to think, lots of time to listen to things that I never really got to get into again. Just because when I get home from my 10-minute job, I don't want to just sit and listen to a podcast. I need to do stuff. I need to handle stuff. I got Mamie's to take care of. Those motherfuckers eat before I do every day. But I love them. So I couldn't listen to podcasts. Now I have a whole library of stuff that I'm just indulging in and I'm thankful for. And a lot of realization came around where I feel like I shouldn't force myself to do these podcasts. When I actually have something to talk about, that it's the right time to do it. So, if you really, it was just such a epiphany. It just went, pow. I'm like, you know what? I have to start doing all these things to get from A to Z. But it's every little letter in between that is a step towards that goal. And I'm excited about that. My 2024 resolution and my Christmas gift that I asked for is sign me. This is the crazy thing. I told my fiance, you know what you can get me for Christmas? That will inspire me for 2024. I go, sign me up for a marathon. I've always wanted to do a marathon since my last one because I had a shitty fucking time. It was the worst time. I believe it was like 6 hours on the dot. Granted, I had multiple like resting spots, cramping. The first 13 miles, I think I must have done them in like 2.5 hours, like 2:40 or something like that. I was actually doing really good. Like, it was still going to be really close for my first marathon and not pretty much not training at all and being a piece of shit the entire time and not taking it seriously. So hence I got the beautiful time of 6 hours, but I did it. I still didn't puss out. I still did it. So, but after that half a marathon, after the halfway mark, like the sun started coming out and I started fucking cramping. Like everything started falling apart. I couldn't eat enough. I couldn't drink enough. There was nothing that my body was absorbing to help me get through this. So the last 3.5 hours was just grueling survival mode. And there was a point where my cheerleaders, which was like my daughter, my fiance, my sister-in-law, and a friend at the time, they were all there, like rooting me on, and they were tracking me just to see where I was at because I wasn't gonna call. Like, okay, I'm like, I don't know where I'm at, but I know I'm dying. No, I wasn't gonna do that. So it was. Thankfully, I just love the technology we do have these days, so they can actually just track me and be like, oh, that's crazy, he's right there. So they don't actually visibly get to see how much I'm fucking dying of just trying to relax and let my legs is just linguini, my feet are fucking hurting. This was the fucking craziest thing. I should have known. And I did know. But I didn't know how bad it was going to be. Prior to the event, the individual that was running it, who's actually ran it multiple times, he said put Band-Aids on your nipples. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, just do it because you're going to sweat. It's going to be cold in the morning. And then your nipples are going to get hard. And then you're going to rub your nipples on your shirt, and it's gonna fucking just sandpaper the fucking tip of that shit. And I'm like, oh, whatever. So I did do it. I believe I did do it. Yeah, I did do it, but they didn't last long. So I ended up getting raw nipples still. It was painful. It was painful. It was like almost as painful as my legs being sore the next few days. It wasn't even that painful. Honestly, I actually recovered really well with my legs. My nipples were fucking on fire. It's just the little minor things that we just take for granted in life that when they go to shit, you're like, oh my God, I actually needed that finger. Oh, or imagine losing your dominant hand. It's like, you never really think about it, but imagine wiping with the opposite. It's going to be awkward. Trust me, signing your name's going to be awkward. Fucking pointing your finger at someone even doesn't have the same emphasis. I'm doing it right now with my left hand and it just doesn't have oomph. As long as I can fucking do it with my right hand, it has more posture. It's fucking weird. So I'm just walking around with raw nipples and I'm like, And I'm like, you okay? I'm like, absolutely not. But I can't go and tell customers, being in customer service and retail, like, my nipples are fucking bleeding through this t-shirt. So, anywho, so that's what I asked for. I want someone to get me a marathon, sign me up for late November so I have all year. And I'm going to take it so fucking seriously to be on my best game for this that I want to smash my time. I want to do it in under 5 hours. So I want to take an entire hour off my previous. My goal, what I'm going to try to push myself for, and what my time, I'm going to try to do 5. Realistically, I'm going to try to do 5 hours. But I'm going to train for 4.5 hours. I'm fucking excited. I'm excited. I hope it happens. I think I'm going to just do it for myself if I don't get it. It is what it is. I need something to motivate me. When I was taking my daughter to San Francisco, I had to save for so long to get that set up, and I had a time frame, and I made it happen. And if I set this personal goal for myself, I'm going to be in shape. I'm going to, take shit out of my life. I have to start doing this I just got to change things for that particular goal. And I don't know why it excites the shit out of me, but I know probably before that I'll be able to do it. And I probably will run some sort of marathon on the beach, which I really want to run on Morro Beach. Oh, pardon me. I ran, I believe, 10 miles. I ran 5 miles on at the Morro Rock, like headed towards Cayucas. I think I did 5 miles and back. And I don't know if you can go 13 miles on the beach towards Cayucas straight without any issues, without hitting any major obstacles and rockage, and back to make the equivalent of a full marathon. But I would love to do it. I mean, the surf beach I have here is amazing. It's like private. It's owned by the base though, unfortunately, so it is shut down for the snowy clovers for the fucking season. You can't interrupt them at a certain point. Be like, hey, these are the boundaries. This is where they start fucking, and you can't interrupt that for a long period of time. So you got to be enclosed to this big ass beach for only a mile, for the stretch of a mile. But thankfully most people don't even go out to surf beach because it's fucking cold. Like, it never gets super ass sunny where you're like, oh, I'm just going to go lay out on the beach. And even then, there's not like a lot of people that go out there and do that. For some reason, in my certain town, there's like not really a lot of great socialization out in public. There's always just like, just watching out. Just what? Who's coming up behind me? Fucking get away from me, please. It's like that type of shit. There's like a lot of paranoia. And it's around the holidays. Check this out. Before I was leaving for work, I noticed that the perimeter of my house, it's cinder blocks, one of them was missing just on the corner. And I went into straight paranoia. I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to defend myself soon? Is someone trying to break into my house because it's the holiday season? I don't know. I started thinking about all that shit. I came home, went right to my backyard, and started checking out footprints. And it fucking sucks because I just did all this yard work. So my footprints, all these different shoes I wear. I could have been wearing my ladies' Crocs. I don't know what the fuck I was wearing. So I'm going around and like measuring my foot to all these different footprints are all over my backyard. So I'm just in fucking, it's just in a weird state. Anyways, are we ready for Christmas? Are we ready for Christmas? I hope so. Because one of the main reasons why I did wanted to start this and kind of wish you guys a happy holidays, because who knows when my next podcast will come out. Hopefully before Christmas. That'd be fucking awesome. But I stumbled upon this video of the comparisons of Christmas now to back when I was a child. And I grew up in the 80s. So 80s to early 90s, I would say, was fucking awesome. I think when you hit 10 to like 13, you have like really good you should have halfway decent Christmases. After that, you're getting to an age where you're just like, I want fucking expensive shoes and all that shit. It's not really, you're getting like 3 good gifts and like fillers. You're not getting a Christmas tree full of fucking gifts. If you're doing that still with your kids, it's like, okay, just calm down. I get it. I totally understand, but do they need it? No, probably not. With all the like at this point, my daughter's turning 16 in January. I tell her right now, I'm getting you like 3 or 4 solid dope gifts that you want, but we're going like and doing shit. Like, we're going to invest in memories for her birthday. I don't know if I should just say it, because if she's not going to listen to this. More than likely she'll never will. Like, I want to take her up north to Ferndale. And if anybody knows where Ferndale is, that's where Guy Fieri is from. Yeah, it's a little small town. Beautiful. Like my daughter loved it. To this day, it's been years. It must have been like 4 years since we went up there. Maybe 3, 4 years since we've been up there. No, longer than that because we've been up here for 2. Gosh, it must have been at least like 4 years. Yeah, 4 years since we've been up there, and it's still embedded in my daughter's mind. She loves it. She talks about it still to this day, how she wants to go and take her closest friends and people she loves, up there. And she almost like talks like she wants to live up in like Humboldt County, which is fantastic. It's because it's a memory that we did together and it's stuck. All these little material things that we give our kids, besides like PlayStations and PCs and laptops and shit like that, I get that. And a phone, I get that. Those are all going to be like long-term gifts, multiple things they can do with it. It's an attention getter for sure. Take this, get the fuck out of my face for a little bit. It may sound rude, but we all have done it. Memories. That's what I want to pay for these days. That's what I told my daughter. That's why we try to do all these concerts with you. Sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does. But ultimately, it's like, here we go. We're setting memories up. Oh, look at this brand new jacket and these shoes. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, great, you look awesome. Fucking right on. But in 3 or 4 months, that's going to be just hanging up in your closet. Or those shoes are just going to be dirty as fuck. Replaced by some Crocs with stupid little fucking things on them. With dumbass sayings. That shit that doesn't even make sense. Christmas back in the 80s and 90s, I think you got excited about shit because you knew you were getting one fucking good gift. You could have had 10 gifts all around the tree. And most of those are like split up into like, if you have 10 gifts, guaranteed probably like 50% of them are going to be clothes. It's like you got your underwear, you got your sock presents, you got your t-shirt presents, and then you got the gifts from your grandma that fills in that tenor. Then you have the important gift, all fit into that shit, and little things here and there. Yeah, that one special gift you knew that you were just shooting for. When my parents used to say, hey, get a Christmas list together, you had to take that shit seriously. Because if you had 3 good ones, if you went like over 5, you were like pushing it. You must have been like in a special house, where your parents just gave you a whole bunch of shit. Like your 10 gifts was like 30. Ours was like 10. There was 3 kids in the household. And my parents weren't like the richest people around. So easily 50% are like fillers, close, and all that shit. One special gift. Do it with memories. Is that the vibe we're getting right now? Is that the only vibe that I'm feeling? I mean, it's just a personal preference. And my daughter, thank goodness, we have that open relationship where we can talk about this shit. And she's like, I totally get it. I totally understand. And she told me, she goes, that one year that you got me the Nike Air Force, I never was expecting it. I just said, this is something that I wanted, and you got it for me. And it was just like, to this day, she's like, boom, still has them to right now. And she still loves it. Still remembers how she was just fucking blown away. Dad can hook it up with some shit like that. I still got that gusto. But I want shit to be embedded in your mind forever. I mean, if you grow up and if my daughter grows up and has kids and she still remembers the Nike story, fucking right on. The Nike Christmas, fucking chalk one up for Dad. Write a song about that, motherfuckers. Mother's Day. Father's Day is not appreciated at all. We contribute. We buy shit for Christmas. Anyways, do you guys feel that the holidays is just... I know I talked about that with Halloween, but Thanksgiving just came and went. Wasn't like anybody was trying to meet up and do shit. It just doesn't seem as special as it used to be. And maybe technology has sucked the fun out of that. I don't know. Maybe my fun really I got into it when video game. I think when the fun of it happened when I got my Nintendos and my Segas and shit, because the price of the gifts started going up and the limitation was was diminishing big time. But growing up in the early 80s or being in late 80s, being a Ninja Turtle fan, I would see the packaging and the wrapping of the gifts, knowing goddamn well what it was. And I was so fucking excited. I still have my brother's old gym bag. I believe it's his old gym bag or workout bag, whatever the fuck he used it for. It's just full of old broken Ninja Turtles that I still have that I cannot get rid of. They have no value at all to any buyer in the entire world. But for me, I can pick up some random individual can just pick up a Ninja Turtle, whatever the case may be in there, and show it to me, and I can say that's what I did, blah 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 blah, and I can fucking cement. I can tell you a whole entire story of what I used that for. And mostly, check this out, since I was a big wrestling fan back in the day, I never bought actually wrestling toys. I had Ninja Turtles, and they were my wrestlers, and we had just your typical couch where you had your 3 sections and you had your squares, and the square was the ring. And your little armrest, that was the top rope. That was where you were going to fuck somebody up. You only can do it from one side, 2 sides actually. Everything else was open, but there was imaginary ropes. Imagination. That's what we don't have these days anymore. And this is another point I wanted to emphasize on this podcast, which blew me away when I heard it this afternoon. Check this shit out. And this isn't going to come off as hate. Please, I'm not trying to be hateful when I say anything about this. I am so fucking confused on what's going on right now. Please, in the comments, if you can just enlighten me, I would appreciate it. But this is what I heard today. Gavin Newsom. He is the man running and shitting all over California. Passes law fining California businesses for not having gender neutral toys. Let me be more specific about that. Okay. This law is going into effect January 1st, 2024. California retailers will be fined for not having a gender neutral toy section for kids. Newsom wants this for the whole country. Okay, so what baffles me about this is that when us kids were given toys, we had to use our imaginations to make these toys worth anything. You can't just give a kid a toy and the toy tells the entire fucking story. The kids in the imagination has been sucked out of them these days. I mean, do you see a kid nowadays that has just a variety of different crazy toys that they all just kind of play with? I mean, like, I had Ninja Turtles, I had Transformers, I had He-Man. I had a whole bunch of shit that my mom and dad would randomly buy me throughout the years, and that was it. Like, that was collective. Like, hey, you have a whole bunch of toys over there, make that shit work. I'm like, all right, well, these guys really don't vibe with each other, and these guys are from a whole different universe, but you know what, fuck it, I can't get anything else, so let's make it happen. Everything's all on these phones, and everybody's I mean, there's kids fucking making millions of dollars on YouTube just because they're selling toys, playing with toys. Their face is right there in a fucking camera every single day. They're working as kids, making millions, which I props to them. Fucking right on, dude. Make that shit work. Whatever you found the glitch in the Matrix where it's just shooting money at the ATM, dude. You found it. You found the secret code, the security code for the Matrix of money, and you're just fucking going. You're just boom. You nailed it. So with this fucking crazy ass bill, they're gonna get fined. They can be fined up to $500 for not having a gender neutral section of toys. So, do they actually have creators and toy creators out there that have like, this is Sally, I don't even know what to say. They have to create these fucking things, right? To have a toy section for kids, right? So there's some brilliant fucking fool out there. There's a staff of fucking morons together talking about what type of sexuality is this toy gonna have? What what bathroom are he or she's gonna go into, or they them, or whatever. I mean, are there be like gender neutral pronoun toys? This is getting out of fucking control. Here's a toy, whatever, female, male, dinosaur, gargoyle, hamster, rabbit, snake, fucking whatever you want to play with. Use your fucking imagination to make this thing work for you. We obviously got you a toy because we know you like something about this fucking thing. It's your job to build stories around it and entertain yourself. That's what we used to do. Now everything is just given to you. I want to watch someone fucking get into a car crash. Boop, instantly on your phone. I tell my daughter all the time, and I'm very thankful to have a fiance that pretty much grew up the same way I did. She grew up in a rougher neighborhood fucking than most of this country. But we were raised pretty much the same. We knew exactly, we were kind of going through the same shit. The 90s was a really crazy time in life. The 80s was cool because we were really young and we were just kids. But once the 90s hit and we got older, it's like, oh, fuck, here we go. I mean, the things that we used to do as kids, the banter, the slander we'd put on our friends, the physical abuse of team play we would play amongst each other, whether it was football or things that went with doorknobs. Look it up. We played games that rhymed with a we played games that had like references to I mean, it was bad. Like the names were bad. Nowadays, it would be like we'd be canceled. I wouldn't even be able to work. I had to go to a different country just to work because of the sensitivity. But back then, it was just common. I tell my daughter, I'm like, dude, you need to go outside. You need to go explore. I tell my daughter, you need to go out and get in trouble. It's either like, kids just don't like go around and walk around and just like bother neighbors and shit. Like, I don't know. This may sound really shitty, but it's either like little minor things that kids don't even do, or they're fucking extreme, like stealing cars or, doing graffiti or throwing fucking shit at people's car. I don't fucking know. It's extreme, or breaking into people's houses. Who fucking knows? It's either they're not doing anything at all. They're just sticking themselves in their fucking phone in the room and shit like that. either an athlete, which they're probably a fucking dickhead anyways, or cheerleader, or they're just an extreme piece of fucking shit. So I tell my daughter, just go out and try to make friends, be adventurous, be a kid, be back before the fucking street light comes on. You have stuff to protect yourself with. I arm my daughter, not with a gun. That's all I would fucking need, is just sort of popping shit off at like fucking animals that come and attack her. With, honestly, there's like coyotes and shit like that up here, but all I would need for her to freak out when a deer just crosses her and she fucking loses her mind. No. But go be adventurous, and these kids don't do it these days. How many kids you see play out in the street? Coming up to the Central Coast to visit my sister-in-law was one of the main reasons why I wanted to move up here, is because when we first went up to visit her little apartment, condo, chingadera she had going on, there was kids like in the street playing hockey and basketball. It's like, what? What? You don't fucking see this you don't see this anywhere. And then when you do see a whole bunch of little kids running around, you have people just fucking totally looking at them like they're going to do something wrong. It's just like, it's a catch-22. We live in a society right now where it's just always, you're thinking both ways. You're constantly worried, but you kind of like, you should do that too. Should be kind of free, be with your friends. But there's like 5 of them, and there's like, they're all mixed races, so all of them could band together to be Captain Trouble. I mean, you never know. It's just fucking crazy. I thought that someone was breaking into my fucking house because I was going. But this house is built fucking forever. And we've already had some technical issues with this place, so it was kind of rigged up, fucked up. So, anywho. No imagination. Your toys now have to tell you the entire fucking story. So you're like, okay, cool. There's no fun in it. Christmas is getting like, I don't know what mythical creature out there that is taking form of the Grinch, but it's been that way this entire fucking year. That's what it seems like. Like, slowly, the mythical Grinch has been taking little presents of your soul out of us for the entire year. And that's why I am excited about 2024 blowing the fuck up. I don't know if I really want to get any further into this. I'll save it for later, because this has been an eye-opener for me in a whole bunch of ways. I truly hope that you keep Christmas very special. I mean, I'll end it with this. Back when I was younger, Halloween always had neighborhoods that popped with Halloween decorations. You were excited to go out and roll around the neighborhood and see all the houses lit the fuck up all different ways. Sometimes the candy was just secondary to just the fun of people's imaginations. I feel right now, Halloween and Christmas, you don't get that anymore. You don't see that. You have the neighborhoods that do it every single year. I know that. I know I can go and find one in specific areas, but in my neighborhood, on the rare occasion that my recorder fucking messes up, I had way too much memory and it just stopped. So, what I was saying, and I will end with, is that I can definitely go around and find certain areas around, my area of like neighborhoods that are just blowing up with Christmas lights. But I have a certain goal in my time, and wherever I am staying for the time that I am going to be here is to try to bring as much joy around those two specific holidays to kids that probably, like, their parents don't give a fuck. Like, it doesn't mean anything to their parents, but it may mean everything to them. I'm bringing back old school. I want us to bring back, like, the fun that we used to have. Because you know what? Now that I'm getting older, I fucking appreciate the 80s and the 90s. And if you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, oh my gosh. I should probably stop before this starts happening again. I am pumped for 2024. We're going to fucking kick ass. I hope you make Christmas as special for your family and for everybody around you so we can never lose the spirit of it, because you know what? It actually is fun to be around a whole bunch of great people during the holidays. So, ahoy! That was a little bit loud. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review, subscribe to the show on your podcast platforms, and as always, be positive and stay classy. Peace.